So what we want to do here is multiply this first matrix by the second matrix. And there's a little bit more going on here than just multiplying rows and columns. But ultimately, what we're going to do is break it down into those tasks. So the first thing that we can recognize is that because the first matrix has 2 rows, the resulting matrix is also going to have 2 rows. And because the second matrix has 3 columns, so maybe I'll indicate 2 rows. Give me my 2 rows here, and this one has 3 columns. What we will see here is 3 columns for the resulting matrix. So it will, in this case, have the same dimensions as that first matrix on the left, but that's just by design here. It's a coincidence. It won't always be the case. And so now let's say that I want to find this entry right here. So this entry is the second row and the third column. So what I'm going to do to find that is basically multiply the second row of the first matrix by the third column of this matrix. And now this is going to follow our row by column multiplication, which if you've heard the term dot product, it's basically that. So if we want to figure this out, it'll be 204 times 172. And so what we do is multiply the first entry by the first entry. So 2 by 1 plus the second entry 0 by the second entry 7 plus the final entry 4 by the corresponding entry in the column 2. And yeah, we just kind of work this out. So I'm going to get 2 plus 0 plus 8 is 10. And that is going to be our entry for that place right there. And then basically we're going to fill in all of the remaining ones pretty much exactly the same way. So maybe I'll do another one in the demonstration here. So let's say I want to find this first entry right here. That's first row, first column. So it's going to correspond first row of this matrix by the first column of the second matrix. So 1, -1, 2 times 2, 1, and -1. And so what I'm going to do here is just be a little quicker with the calculations. The multiplication of the first 2 entries, 1 times 2 is 2. The next entries are -1 and 1, so the product will be -1. And then 2 times -1 is going to be -2. And so what we're going to get here is -1 for that entry. And essentially, we're just going to complete the rest of them in the exact same manner. So I'm just going to go ahead and kind of do the calculations in my head at this point. But I'll get for this entry I'm working on here. Again, it's going to be this times the middle. And I'll erase these blue ones as I go, because otherwise it's going to get really complicated. But what I will have is 3 minus 9 plus 0. So 3 minus 9 plus 0 is -6. And then for the next one, I'll do first row by third column. So 1 minus 7 plus 4 is going to be -2. And then this entry here, so bottom row, first column, 4 plus 0 minus 4 is 0. And then finally, 2 times 3 is 6, plus 0 is 6. And so I'll just kind of finalize this here, but this should be our resulting matrix product. So the catch is just kind of recognizing where you're grabbing the rows and columns from the first 2 matrices. But once you have that organized, the system kind of starts coming to you pretty naturally.